How is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to another video on the Bear Down channel where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. We've got breaking news out of Hallis Hall. The Bears have signed Tarik Cohen to a 3-year extension worth $17.25 million in new money, aka just under $6 million a year, with the ability to be just over $18 million at $6.093 million per year. Drew Rosenhaus Sports tells ESPN, guys, we're going to be reacting to the Tarik Cohen extension in this video. I would like to say before we get into this one, it is currently 1:21 in the morning when we are recording this. The Bears play in less than 12 hours. We thought it was important to get a video up for you guys, so we're here grinding late. So if you are new to the channel and want Bears content every day of the week, do us a favor and subscribe. We're grinding around the clock for you guys. Also, if you are returning to the channel, do us a favor, smash a like on this video. Screw it, let's try and hit 75 likes on this video. Today, to break down this extension, or tonight, as I should say, I am joined with my co-host, Jaylen McClinton. And by the way, I have forgotten to introduce myself. I am the host. My name is Chris Malpe. But Jaylen, how is it going? We're working through the night. But definitely good that a deal got done here. I know a lot of people wanted an Allen Robinson extension, believe me. But it's important that a deal got done. So first off, how are you doing? And secondly, what are your thoughts on this deal?
So I was actually, just about to, I was just about to lay down, and go to sleep and hopefully wake up.
I cannot disagree with you there. I was going to sleep too, and then I got a notification, so here we are.
I went to go to the bathroom, and Chris called me twice, and he was like, let's record a video. And I'm always going to be down about recording a Bears video, especially when it's about a player that I've always loved him being on the team, just not as a player, but he's a great person as well. He's a
great locker room
all around.
And, yeah.
And I'm just happy to see him, stay for another 3 years. But other than that, I'm pretty good. The Bears playing, like you said, less than 12 hours, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, definitely a well-deserved extension for Cohen. You know what? I got to be honest with you guys. Everyone here at Bear Down, I feel like one of the most important talks we had this offseason was whether or not Tarik Cohen was going to get paid. We obviously saw him in 2018 rush for 444 yards and 3 touchdowns. He made the All-Pro first team as a returner, also was a Pro Bowler, but he was super effective in the receiving game for the Bears in that 2018 season when the team went 12-4 and won the NFC North. I say it in every episode where we bring this up, but we don't have to talk about how that season ended. But Cohen was quite effective for the Bears. 71 catches, 725 receiving yards, 10.2 yards per reception, and 5 touchdowns. I got to be honest with you guys. I think it's pretty obvious to anyone who saw Cohen in 2019. Defenses definitely figured him out, and Matt Nagy did not use him in the way that he needed to. He had 8 more catches to total 79, almost 300 less receiving yards with 456 and 3 touchdowns. But we still saw how great of a receiving back he was last year. His rushing was also down, only rushed for 213 yards and 0 touchdowns. But Jaylen, we've been disputing whether or not Cohen was going to get extended on the podcast for what has to be the last 6 months. But he finally gets paid here. Ian Rappaport reported this morning that he thought a deal was going to get done today. The deadline for deals to process for the week was at 3:59 Eastern Time. It looks like the deal did process, but was leaked a little bit late. So are you happy that this deal got done?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, we talked about this the whole offseason, whether we're going to keep him on the team and not depending on how much money he asks for. And I'm glad we got the deal done before he could, go off for a huge season and maybe turn All-Pro and ask for more money than he asked for. So I'm definitely happy we got this deal done. Tarik Cohen is a great player when we use him correctly. Like you said, back in 2018 when he had over 700 yards as a 5'6" running back. And we used him a lot, and we didn't really get to see that last year because, Nagy forgot how to use him. So I'm happy about that, definitely.
Yeah, and just looking at his 2020 stats, had a very good start against Detroit. Not so much in the passing game, but actually in the rushing game. We saw the Bears' offensive line provide some clarity to kick off the season. He had 7 rushes for 41 yards, 5.9 yards per average. So it's looking promising for Cohen to have a bounce-back year. Jaylen, I think you can agree with me. All offseason, you, me, and Parth, all were saying that he was going to be on the fringe of probably not being on this team in 2021. But it's good that he gets paid. I'm excited to see what he can do in 2020 and beyond. We know he's such a good gadget player, also so good in the punt returning game. He was a Pro Bowler and made the All-Pro team for a reason after a great 2018 year. One more question before we close this one off. Obviously, this is going to be a short video just because we're reacting to the extension. But, Jaylen, the Bears had, a good game plan with Cohen heading into his 2018 season. Obviously, you mentioned it, over 700 receiving yards. The Bears used him very well, and he kind of did get figured out in 2019, and the play calling definitely was down and not up to par with Matt Nagy. But in 2020 and beyond, because obviously we know now that he's here until at least 2023, Jaylen, I want to ask you, do you think this team finds ways to continue to use him creatively like we saw in 2018?
Yeah, definitely. Just last week alone, where we used him a lot in the run game. A lot in the run game. He had a decent amount of yards against the Lions, obviously, and it opened up the pass for Mitchell Trubisky. So he's a very versatile player. Coming into the season, he stated he's going to stop running,
towards the sidelines,
right or left. Yeah, like he usually does. So he said he's just going to run straight. And he always talks about how he's 5'6", but he feels like he's a 6'6" power back. And I just like that mentality from him, how he's going to try to run through you and not try to, juke past you or run away from you and stuff like that. So if we can use him like we did back in 2018, and hopefully he has another Pro Bowl season like, we expect out of him, this is definitely a good deal. This is team friendly as well. We're not paying him that much to stay on the team for another 3 years.
I would like to say, first off, before I answer the question I had, for all of you freaking out about how this affects Allen Robinson, Cohen's deal is 100% independent from Robinson's. There's not essentially a money pot in some way. So Bears fans who are going to be in the comments saying they could have given some of Cohen's money to Robinson, they aren't really connected. It's not really how this works. The Bears will have money to pay Robinson. We've seen what some other teams have done to work their salary cap. Teams like the Chiefs, teams like the Saints and Eagles, who are going to be down a lot of money next year. But obviously we see how much money they're allocating to players this year. But you know what? I do think the Bears will find a better way to use Cohen. We just saw him last week break a run for 16 yards. As much as I'm not too big of a fan of the Bears running Cohen up the gut, you know what? I think he gets back to being a great receiving back in 2020. I think his numbers were down last year. We know how dangerous he is in the open field, and I think Matt Nagy showed in Week 1 when I think he called a pretty good game that he's going to be able to get Cohen out in space more and back to what he's able to do. So, Jaylen, I think we're both pretty happy that this deal got done. Obviously, all Bears fans want an Allen Robinson deal to get done, but we're happy that Tarik Cohen did get paid. That's definitely important. Now we're one step of the way down, and now we got to get the Robinson deal done. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this reaction video. I would like to say before you go, we are grinding this one out late. Do us a favor, if you want Bears content every day of the week, do us a favor and subscribe. Click the thumbs up button to leave a like on this video if you are returning to the channel. I feel like I keep repeating the same things I'm saying, but do me a favor and excuse me. It's quite late at night. Jaylen and I were both about to go to sleep, but definitely excited that this deal got done, and we were able to pay a very important player on this offense, and now he's here for at least the foreseeable future. If you want more content from us, you can head over to our website, beardown.com. We're definitely going to be posting articles throughout the next couple days, expanding on Tarik Cohen's role in this offense and what this extension means to this team. So head over to that website if you want more content from us. If you would like to find the podcast on Instagram and Twitter, you can find us on both of those platforms at Bear Down. And finally, do us a favor, head over to Instagram. You can find the link to me and Jaylen's Bears fan pages down in the description. Jaylen McClinton, we've had some late nights recording podcasts in the past, but not quite this late. So, how much sleep are you going to get tonight? And any last words?
I barely get any sleep, especially days before games. I don't know. I just can't sleep for some reason. But before I basically say my last words, I just want to say how a lot of people, going back to this 2017 draft class, a lot of people said this draft class is terrible. We reached on a lot of players. And stuff like that. Eddie Jackson is one of the best safeties in the league. He's one of the highest paid safeties in the league. And then we got Tarik Cohen, who's a very versatile player, has done a lot of great things for us. Now Mitchell Trubisky, we don't know if he's going to hopefully get his second contract in the Bears. Hopefully, for my sake, he does and plays well and leads us to the playoffs. But other than that, this 2017 draft class has helped us a lot in the rebuild of this team. So I'm thankful for that. But other than that, bear down and let's get
a win tomorrow.
Beat the Giants on the home opener. That's about it. And extend A-Rob. Please extend A-Rob.
Yes,
that's it.
One step of the deal is done. Now it's time to get a Robinson extension done. But you know what? I'm going to have to agree with you. It is tough getting sleep nights before game day. But you know what? If I can get a good 6-7 hours, if you guys didn't know, I'm a sophomore in college. The weekends are already late nights as is, but we're out here grinding for you guys. We got a game to play tomorrow. Cohen got extended. Whether or not you're excited about it, let's try and focus our energy into the game tomorrow. Do us a favor. Also, leave a comment down below what you think about this extension. It is 1:31 in the morning. It's been a pleasure to be your host. Once again, my name is Chris Malpe. I'm going to go and try and get some sleep, but that'll pretty much do it for us. Bears fans, do us a favor. As always, stay safe and bear down. We will see you guys next with our post-game show after Bears versus Giants Week 2, and that's pretty much it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.